Hey everyone, I'm Ivarus. I'm the community moderator here at Midnight, and it's awesome to see you all here today. If you are new to the call, a big warm welcome to you and to our amazing community members. Welcome back. If you're new here or still not sure what Midnight is all about, Midnight is a platform bringing data protection to the blockchain, empowering organizations to deliver regulation-friendly, data-protecting application that keeps users in control of their own information. If you're curious to learn more, check out our night paper on our website. It's a great place to understand what Midnight is all about and see how we are shaping future of blockchain. As you can see, we are live on YouTube this time. This is the first time we're testing and switching up from Discord calls, giving more of you the chance to tune in, catch the updates, and be a part of what we are building together. This call is all about Midnight community, sharing what's new, spotlighting what's ahead, and making sure everyone is in the loop. In case you missed or you've been super busy with working, we all been there. Don't worry, you will be able to rewatch the updates anytime at your own convenience. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. And of course, if you're not already following us, though I'm sure you are, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, community call, or a live stream. So thank you very much for finding time to join in. Let's get started. So today we've got an exciting lineup. We will talk about Web Summit, upcoming hackathons, and dive in some developer updates. But let's start with the fun. Let's start with the Web Summit, as I believe it's a definitely incredible event filled with amazing people, projects, and conversations shaping the future of Web3. Of course, representing Midnight in style, we had Anthony, our very own Busy Bee, on the ground, rocking some serious Midnight swag. Anthony, what do you can say and tell us about the vibe, the projects you come across, and the energy at the event?
Hey, Iris. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Very happy to be here. Not wearing Midnight swag at the moment because it's actually quite cold where I am, but thank you very much for everyone for joining in. Thank you, everybody who came to the Midnight Social this week in Lisbon, and for those who came to see us at Web Summit also. As everybody probably is aware, Web Summit is one of the biggest technology conferences in the world, and it's a 4-day event with a combination of panel speeches, conversations, keynotes, side events, as you might expect. Maybe not quite the scale to rival Devcon. I think there's something in the order of 600 or something events there this week. And we sent our CTO and head of BD. So we sent CTO Ben Beckman and head of BD Nick Cassis out to Devcon. So shout out to them for traveling all the way to glamorous Bangkok. But we stayed here in Lisbon and we had hosted the Midnight Social. We were oversubscribed by 5 times. So really, really sorry to everybody who couldn't make it or people who applied to join the social and couldn't make it in time. Please do stay connected. Please do stay on the newsletters, on socials. There will be other Midnight events. There will be more opportunities to meet us, to meet the developer relations team, and to learn more about Midnight in the future. There'll be plenty more of those events to come. So please do stay with us. Sorry we couldn't let everybody in. There were limitations on the size of the event, on the size of the venue. But what we did have is a panel across ecosystem, so representing Dfinity, representing Sophiaverse and AI in gaming. Diego Borgo was there, who's working with Pith, and obviously we had some of our ecosystem builders from Keyring and from UFI Wallet who are building in the Midnight ecosystem, also talking about what matters to them around data protection, around scaling Web3. Why are they interested particularly in working with Midnight? What does Midnight bring that's different? And I think we also had a chance to speak to maybe some companies, organizations, individuals at the Web Summit who are less familiar with Web3, where when you start talking about, what is it that you guys are trying to do, leaning in with zero knowledge, layer one, partner chain, smart contract, that sort of terminology may have resonated less well. And so for those of you who are curious or interested, a lot of the messaging that we were using with the non-Web3 community was, we're looking to share proofs of data, not the data itself. Right? Or imagine a world where you never have to send sensitive data to a third party ever again. And then do the Elon Musk thing and let that sink in. you give it a couple of seconds for people to imagine, okay, well, that would feel different. If I'm an organization and I'm wondering about how I keep my customer records, what would that feel like? If I'm thinking about an organization that has to worry about data governance and protecting those customer records from hacks online while also having a database connected to the internet, what would that feel like? If I'm a chief information security officer, what would that feel like? It would feel liberating in many cases, and also deeply scary or deeply transformative in others. And so when we talk about that to business leaders, we talk about the idea of never sending sensitive data or sending proofs and verifying that with secure computation. So that was part of the discussion as well. We also spoke to non-technical, non-leaders. And again, the concept that we're talking about here is that we have normalized at this point in time sharing sensitive data over the internet in exchange for goods and services. I ask often audiences when we speak, think about it. How many times in the last month have you shared a piece of sensitive data to a third party over the internet? Whether that be a picture of your driver's license, picture of your passport, maybe your address or date of birth details. How many times have you done that? Or have you done that in the last month? And hands go up straight away. And this is the wake up moment for me, is it's important for people to realize that that's not acceptable. That's not okay anymore. We can do better. And so it's better for us. It's better for businesses. It reduces the risk. It reduces the threat of hacks. It reduces the burden of data governance and the cost of doing so. And we can build better apps with zero knowledge. We can build better apps with Midnight. And that's part of the next generation of the internet that we want. If we expect to see more automation, more robots, more autonomous agents, the risk of sensitive data flowing between those agents and kind of getting out of control or being used and manipulated for nefarious purposes is only going to go up as we see greater proliferation of data, more data points, more channels for data to flow. And so let's start re-architecting the way we build apps now and start doing that with technology like Midnight. So that was that. That's a summary of, I guess, what we were talking about. Some of the builders we got to meet. I mean, there are, to summarize, the exciting thing for me getting to work for Midnight is as soon as you've done the short description, whichever version of the ones that you've just heard, the person on the other end, if they're building in Web3, if they're a DApp developer, if they're an operator, if they're somebody who's already using the technology, they don't go into the, oh, that's weird, how does that work? Or I don't understand it, that feels complicated. They move very quickly to, oh, I get it now. I could do this, or would this use case work? Or what if we protected the data here? Or could we use shielded identities for this? And immediately you get into conversations. This is the exciting thing. It was the same at Token 2049 as well. And so we're seeing that people are immediately engaging with the concept of zero knowledge proofs, the concepts of shielding, of protecting sensitive data, and moving quickly to what does it mean for me? And we were talking with DeFi, wallets, gaming, identity and KYC providers, mixnets, a bunch of different builders, different organizations who already have propositions in the world, who are already on chain. And they're thinking, oh, well, that might be better, or that might be less risky, or that might be more scalable, or that might be something that more people would sign on to if they knew it was private. And so that's the other final really exciting thing for me, is that people aren't kind of querying, does Midnight need to exist? They get it straight away, and they move very quickly to the, oh, and here's what we do with it. So I also want to give a shout out to the Midnight team that were there that helped to prepare for the Midnight Social and also for the wider Web3 Summit. You know who you are. You guys worked incredibly hard, very, very long hours. So thank you, everybody, the developer relations team, the marketing team, everybody who was here in Lisbon this week and who was engaging with the community and helping to prepare the content. We will be putting out more content around it for those who didn't make it. So there will be pictures, videos, summaries, and lots of stuff to come later. So watch out for that in the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
I respect you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Just before we're gonna let you, how do you think events like this helps build connections for Midnight and our ecosystem? I know you've used it a lot of events in the last few months. Just for your own thoughts, how do you think how it helps us and our ecosystem?
Events is where we meet people and we brainstorm. I think if you look at digital channels, if you look at Telegram, if you look at Twitter, wherever it might be, those are good places for staying updated. But when we meet face to face, when we collaborate, when there's a whiteboard in the room, the biggest things, the greatest ideas usually tend to flow. even if it's a piece of paper and a pen, right? Digital collaboration tools are fantastic, but events, meetups, hackathons are where the real aha moments happen, where you can move quickly from ideation into next steps. And so a number of the best partners we've had join the Midnight Network have come from those sorts of events where they've gone from what's Midnight to, oh, I get it. I see that now. And then very quickly, they're having conversations, they're jumping into the Discord, they're working with the testnet, and they're going from there. So we want to grow the ecosystem. We want as many people to understand what it is that we can bring to Web3. We are for Web3. We're not for any one ecosystem, right? We want to work with every layer one. We want to work with every layer two. We want to work with every bridge, every wallet, everywhere that Midnight can provide that data protection and provide that shielding where it's not natively present in an existing app or an existing proposition. We want to collaborate. Obviously, we're limited by the capacity of the team, the technical team to do that. But if there's more demand, we'll bring more people because we want to see this capability and this network grow. We want to see more people building better apps with zero knowledge. And so that's the important part of events for me, whether they are spaces, whether they are in person, that human to human collaboration allows things to move faster.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, thank you very much, Anthony, for your time. Thanks for coming up and sharing your experiences. We also had Ahmed at the event. Let's bring him to share his own experiences as well. Hello, Ahmed.
Hey everyone, happy Friday all. Yeah, like Ivor said, I was at the Web Summit side event. I was in Portugal for like 32 hours, just there for the event and back. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Met a ton of people. And I want to echo what Anthony said, which is we met people across the spectrum of blockchain knowledge. And so some people who were just at the start of their blockchain journey, investigating what blockchain can do for them and what use cases they can open, and people who have been using blockchain since since Bitcoin first came out, right? Since 2013 and really interested in Midnight and so on. And the interesting thing is when you speak to these people at a technical level, they all realize that Midnight's offering is unique and that really they haven't seen anything like it before. And instantly their brain starts churning and they're like, okay, well, I mean, this use case is possible and this is possible. And how do we do this? And how do we do that? And their brains start, and you can see there the clogs turn in real time. So it's always a ton of fun to see that in real life because we get to do it a lot online and not so often face to face. And that's what really keeps me going, just seeing the clock turning and people making these connections. So it's a ton of fun. I love doing more of that, and hopefully we'll do more of that as it goes. For those of you who couldn't attend or were turned away due to space, please do feel free to jump on an office hours call with me. I will leave the link in Discord, so go ahead and go over there. Book 15 minutes. We can do longer, we can do shorter. Ask me questions. Just, it's really informal, and we can keep it off the record if you'd like. But just, again, I want to keep these conversations going, and I want to, the QR code will take you to the office hours link, by the way. And I just really want to keep these combos going, keep these use cases coming, keep the cogs turning, and keep moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for sharing an update. And before we wrap this section, would like to ask the community, if you attended either event or maybe you met Ahmed in person, what's one takeaway or standout moment for you? Drop it in the chat. We would love to hear. Of course, if you have been there, let us know how we interacted and how we done. Moving along, we also had an awesome event at Devcon, and we have our own Justin that participated in the Devcon, another fantastic event that gave us valuable insights and potential a lot of different collaboration in space. Justin, hello, how are you? Can you share your own experience? What's really happened in Devcon?
Yeah, hi. I'm Justin. I'm one of the developers on the Node team at Midnight. And I was lucky enough to head down to Devcon in Bangkok, along with Ben and Nick, who were leading some of the charge at a number of the events, the side events. So Devcon, by the way, is an event focused on the Ethereum ecosystem, and it's fairly large. There was an estimate there were around 12,000 attendees at Devcon, and I focused on going to a number of the side events. like mainly ZK focused events, and I had the pleasure of talking to a lot of people who were interested in ZK and building on ZK. I talked to teams in data availability and also teams who build, who ship a lot of NFT focused projects, particularly ordinals, who were really excited to build on Midnight. So that was really nice. We had a happy hour at one of the side events at Devcon, where we had a packed event on a hotel rooftop with some really nice views. And that was where I mingled with a lot of the Devcon attendees. Some of the ones that I had mentioned previously. And one other thing, I got to speak at a side conference to Devcon, and that side conference is called Sub-Zero. That's actually a conference that's focused on Substrate framework, which is the framework which Midnight and to a greater extent partner chains are based on. So I gave a technical overview from a developer's standpoint on both Midnight and partner chains. I gave a lot of context on the dApp development perspective of Midnight, what data protection means to us, both in terms of assets and contract state, what sort of use cases that can bring, and a bit of insight into the roadmap and future state of Midnight. And that was fairly interesting. We had about 1,200 people on the stream, and I ended up talking to a few teams afterwards who were fairly interested in working on and building on Midnight or partnering. And I might be able to call myself a podcast bro after this. I may end up on a podcast talking about Midnight. I won't name which one, but we'll see if it goes through. But yeah, that's kind of the high level of my time at Devcon.
Well, it definitely sounds that you had a really great time. But from Devcon perspective, what's one project or maybe a trend that you saw that aligns with our vision or Midnight vision? Just for your personal view, is there something that you really enjoyed or liked that you were surprised that, wow, this is it, people are approaching me what I do?
You're asking about like what trends were interesting to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think in my perspective, I love ZK projects. I'm not like a ZK expert, but I'm a huge fan and enjoyer of ZK projects, and not only for the privacy property of ZK, but also like succinctness and like, verifiable compute to a greater extent. So there are a lot of projects that we're building around ZK TLS, which is pretty cool. ZK TLS is a protocol that allows people to create portable data from their web sessions, so they can do things like prove that they have a Twitter DM with somebody, or prove that they have a session open with a state website, implying that they have a unique citizenship. And you can bring proofs like that on chain, given that the chain has a verifier for such a thing. So it's going to bring a lot of use cases, and I think teams are already starting to form about it. There were several talks about this protocol and related ones. So for me, yeah, I get pretty fanboy about these cutting edge ZK ideas. That was one for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Justin, for your updates. And again, guys, if you would like to see Justin's recorded session for Sub-Zero, please scan the barcode, leave a comment, and share your feedback. I will make sure we're also going to post these YouTube links in our Discord server, so everyone sees it accessible. But again, thank you very much, Justin. I hope you have a great weekend. And yeah. Okay. I believe we can move on to developer updates. But first up, I would like to invite Diego. Hello, Diego. How have you been? I know you've been pretty busy in the last couple of weeks. So all community missed you. They were asked, we started asking, where's Diego? Where's Diego gone? So please, Diego, can you share what you've been up to, what we can expect in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, actually, I saw it in the chat that some people were asking about like upcoming events. So I'm going to start with the closest one that is going to be in Argentina. So that is going to be the Cardano Tech Week. So that one is going to be between the 28th of November to the 2nd of December. And really kind of like I started something completely focused on Cardano. They were going to have a hackathon during that week, but then Midnight is also going to join and have its own track for this hackathon. So then you can participate if you are in Buenos Aires, if you want to participate in the IO or Cardano's track, you can do it. If you want to participate on Midnight, you can do it, or you can participate on both, which is something that is really interesting. So if you guys remember, not long ago, we were already in Buenos Aires. So it seems that we like it so much that we needed to come back. And we had this incredible event that I just mentioned, which is pretty much kind of like right before the constitutional event that is going to start also on December 2nd. So pretty much the same day that we're going to announce the winners for that hackathon for the Cardano track and the Midnight track, then that's also going to be the same day that the constitutional event is going to take place. So a lot of things. We may have kind of like a couple of special guests during those days, kind of almost 2 weeks. So if you decide to go to Argentina, this is kind of like a great time for you to join us. Additionally, we're going to also start in December like a new series of virtual hackathons. So literally we were discussing that like last week, so I don't have like the page ready to share, although like Ivras and Sydney, they are great, showing here the link right below my face for the hackathon. So that's where we're going to put that. But in the next couple of days, we're going to share even more information about this virtual hackathon series. And I call it a series is because we're going to pretty much kind of make them a little bit longer, so perhaps almost a month, and we're going to put like some topics in that we're going to share with you in advance. So if you don't like the one that we're going to have in December, then you can join the one in January, the one in February, March, or even better, you can join all of them. So we're going to kind of work quite well on that. Additionally, with Major League Hacking, we have one last hackathon on North America on the 29th. And of course, I kind of like missed out where it is, where I have like I have it here. I have it here. Believe me, I have it. Okay, so that's going to be UB Hacking and Tamu Deathathon, and that is going to be in the 29th of November. Apart from that, then we're also going to share soon like the upcoming list of events that we're going to have for 2025. So like that will be kind of like a great close for the year, and that's pretty much it. So next week, quite likely in this same space, I'm going to be sharing all the links for these events and especially the registration pages. So if you're interested, we want you to come and be part of these events and to start sharing the projects that you want to do on testnet with us. And that's, I think, everything from me, Ivars.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Diego. Up on next, we have Stev, who's here to share on Compact and SPO improvements on some updates. Stev, I know you've been deep in details, but can you break it down for us? What's changing and why should community be excited about these updates, or what they should be aware of?
Yeah, well, hello, everybody. Some of you know me. I'm Steph, Devcon here at Midnight. There's been a lot of growth as far as SPOs maintaining testnet. So looking right now, we have around 60 Cardano SPOs maintaining the testnet, which is pretty awesome since testnet was launched in October. And we're just halfway in November now. So it's likely we might reach 100 Cardano SPOs maintaining the Midnight testnet, which is pretty awesome. So because these are the people who keep this is the community that keeps the blockchain up and running and making sure the next block and making sure we can see the next block. But also we're going to mention in our Discord channel. So there is a new Midnight node version that literally just was published. So we definitely recommend SPOs to update their Midnight node. We'll post an announcement in Discord and stuff. But the current node should be okay, but you should update ideally sooner the better. Also, when it comes to SPOs, I know people have been asking a lot about more educational information around SPOs. So I'm glad to say we're going to be premiering a SPO workshop in about 2 weeks' time. So I know there's a few people in the community that are pretty excited about that. So I'm excited to do it too with you guys. I'll be there. I'll be hosting the workshop and happy to help people out along the way. So, but before that workshop takes place, it's a Midnight block producer guide. So ideally become a Cardano preview SPO before that workshop takes place. That would just be like half the work done, and then you'll be able to go through the registration and producing blocks with Midnight. So we look forward to that coming out soon. And there's also going to be some. I know some of you have been on the community call. I think two times ago. But Compact is the team's constantly trying to make Compact more TypeScripty as possible, or TypeScriptifying it as much as possible. So and around the same time frame of 2 weeks time or so, we're going to be releasing some more changes to Compact. So the thing with changes with Compact is we might release if you're using an older compiler version of Compact, you have to use the same version of syntax at that time. So we're going to be releasing a new version of Compact. Usually there's some breaking changes where it's just some syntax, just different ways to write your Compact syntax. However, if you're using the previous version of the compiler, and you technically don't have to use the syntax versions, but we always encourage you to, because there's a lot of improvements coming along as we're on this journey to improve the tool stack. So that's kind of all updates I got to share. And yeah. And also, please update your Midnight node if you're running them.
Of course. Just a quick question for you as well. So I know you guys always busy, but what's been the biggest challenge for these weeks in order to make these improvements, if you can share?
Biggest challenges this week, I would say. What's the biggest challenge? So there's been a lot of some people have dealt with some anomalies in their node performance. So it's really hard for us to help debug some people's setup, because you can have an instance where you're having your infrastructure set up and Midnight node relies on DB sync. So what if there's a moment in time where that connection was interrupted and then your Midnight node got thrown off? So whenever you come across issues, we even see some memory leakage issues and stuff, but sometimes it's only certain people that are dealing with these issues, or sometimes we don't see it. So if you do encounter issues, share as much as possible with us. I mean, we have the team we're in Discord, other SPOs are in Discord. So obviously don't share personal information, but any kind of logs, any other information really helps us to, I guess, debug these anomalies when they come up.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Steph. Hope you have a great weekend and speak soon. Right, Diego, Steph, thank you very much for those updates. It's always great to hear about the work that's happening behind the scenes. And for those who are watching, if you have any questions for Diego or Steph or anyone else that attended this call, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we will try to cover it after this call or during the call. Next thing, community updates. I think that's what we all hear and everyone wants to know about what's going to happen next. So pretty soon you can expect the Unshielded episode 10, which is dropping really soon. Next week we're going to release a preview where you can see and expect another awesome episode. If you're not sure, just please scan this barcode and follow us on Twitter, and you'll be the first one who will be notified about the changes. And speaking about Twitter or X, sorry, we also have an upcoming Twitter Spaces with all our recent partners, Maestro, Sindri, and Paima Studio. So please keep an eye on socials. And if you have time, please make sure to attend and hear all the latest updates about our recent partnerships. And yeah, I think I've shared everything what I wanted to share. Thank you very much for joining today's call. Obviously, we love feedback. We would love to hear your feedback. Did you enjoy the new format of this call that we've done on YouTube? If you loved or if you have any suggestions, let us know. And please don't forget to share these updates with your friends or community to keep the Midnight vibe going. And of course, if you're new to Midnight, don't forget to check out midnight.network or join our Discord channel for all the updates and the conversations and all the help you need, or if you want to start or you wanted to build something on Midnight or start becoming an SPO, or scan the barcodes here. Yes, that's the one. Thank you very much. To connect us on social media. Let's keep building together, and I will see you